Boys, big question here. Homeschool and all of the kids are doing virtual learning and stuff right now. Could you have survived that? Because I'm hearing all these awful stories on the news every night about kids and getting headaches and screen time and all this stuff. And I really thought it was I hated school so much when I was growing up. There's no way I could have paid any attention during virtual school. How would you guys have handled, think about eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade you having to just do everything on the screen with your teacher?
Oh, it sounds miserable. It does. I can't even imagine going through something like that. And there's this internal debate, me as somebody that doesn't have kids. It's yeah, I get it's better for kids to be in the classroom and learn better that way, but it's stop congregating them all together. We're trying to get through a damn pandemic, for crying out loud. So I hear both sides of that. But being put in that situation as a kid, being a senior in high school right now, you kidding me? That would be horrific. And then, yeah, elementary school, middle school, when, oh man, the way that you learn is so vital. And there's no way I would have been. I don't have enough of an attention span to sit in front of a monitor. It's hard enough for me to do that when I'm working from home as a 30-some-year-old adult. So as a kid, freaking forget it. I got Sports Center and Price is Right on all day. I'd be struggling.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Thinking back to basically my entire K through 12 career, I put in the most minimal effort I could to get great. I was a 3.0 student because it was there were always one or two classes I was interested in, and so I paid attention to those. But then there were four other classes I just didn't care about. So there would be a mixture of B's and C's in there to come together to look like I, was a well-rounded student, but really I gave as little effort as I possibly could. And I think if you remove the supervision of an in-person teacher, man, I don't know. I think that GPA would have dropped a few extra points. I don't think it would have been good.
Because the reason I brought this up is because my friend Christian has a 14-year-old. I forget how old Kay is, but anyways, he has a podcast called Cooler Than I Look. I love the podcast, but he was talking about his daughter and how all of a sudden they got calls saying that Kaylani hasn't been paying attention in virtual learning. She's not logging on to class. She's making the screen black and just sitting there. And so then they started paying attention, and they're having PE class, phys ed, over Zoom.
What?
And yeah, and he knew when that class was going on because I guess that was the class that she wasn't participating in because she's in her bedroom. And and they were yeah, she's not doing anything. She's just laying down, doing absolutely nothing. And I'm that's exactly how I would have been. I'm not doing Zoom. I'm not doing Zoom phys ed. I don't know if you're supposed to do the presidential physical fitness test in your bedroom. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing pull-ups in my bedroom. It's not happening.
Almost everything from PE growing up was group activities. Occasionally they'd be okay, you have to run a mile, you have to do push-ups and sit-ups and stuff. But 90% of it was group activity. So what do they do? Did your friend say what happens in PE class virtually?
No, they're stretching, they're doing yoga, they're doing Pilates, they do random stuff, but it's just
free fitness classes.
Yes. Yeah. They're doing free fitness classes via Zoom. And I just couldn't stop laughing at that. Cause I would be in so much trouble. My mom would get called every day. My mom would have gotten called just Daniel's not doing anything during Mr. Slovakovsky's history class. It's just, he's got a screen black. Or he posted it, or he put a picture of himself. Because that's another thing I think it's funny the kids are doing. They're just putting pictures of themselves, taking a picture of me right now in this background, and then just not, and just putting that on the screen.
Oh yeah, because on Zoom you can do animated GIFs as a background. So you could get 5 seconds of you just paying attention, with like your hand on your chin or something like that, and then just loop it.
That's like the worst thing though, right? Is this is almost easier for uh, teachers to pay attention to each individual student more. Because in a classroom setting, they're turning their backs, they're looking this way, they're looking this way. You can pass notes, you can do whatever and be a little bit more. But I feel like on Zoom, it's all right there and they'll be able to pinpoint everybody. And I'm sure they can record and go back and check on who's doing what. Like that's an intense amount of supervision digitally
Yeah.
that would be just a little bit like, yo, like I can't even, I'm just gonna be laying in my bed, like chill out.
Well, I've heard a lot of like the teacher, their role is just like constantly asking kids like, "Are you there? Are you connected? Is your internet okay? Can you turn your screen?" Like it's just
Oh,
like if it's like a
man.
60-minute class, like 30 minutes of it, the teacher's just like technical support.
Oh, oh, that's the
It's
worst.
the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah, I
Couldn't
would
do it.
have no, I couldn't do it. So shouts to all the teachers out there dealing with this, and shouts to all the kids too, because it's got to be crazy that like a teacher, and I didn't even think about this, Dan, until you said this, Dan, is that like a teacher could literally send my parents a video of what I was doing. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Good God. Well, welcome to the Brunch Breakdown.